Ah, scientist Alif Frume. Hi, hello there. Is it the first time you're here? Adrian, how are you, dear? Scientist Alif, is that the first time you're here? You see, Adrian right now is going to add his gender, age, and where he's tuning in from. Like three little codes. Like M for male, age, and then the country. And if you wouldn't mind, please do the same. Adrian says, just thinking about you, Mehran, and now I found out that you're alive. Yes, alive. You see, scientist Alif, Adrian just put in 40 Romania M. Ah, thank you. So 17 Malaysia man. Okay, 17 years old. Welcome. Very young. Very good. All right. And Alif says, no, my second name. Oh, is it? So you never asked the question, maybe, because I don't remember the screen name. I was just about to come online, and then I kind of wanted to clean my glasses. So I got it under the water and then shook it, and when I shook it, it came apart. So luckily I have another one. So I'm trying to fiddle with it, see if I can fix it without having to go to the store. But I guess not. It needs a special tool, so I don't want to damage it. So I thought perhaps I can have an hour of discussion or shorter if anybody is around from around the world would join me. Apparently no one on Facebook has joined yet, but we have 5 people on YouTube. Actually, it says 5 watching, but there's only 2 of you that are active. Elif says, can I have some tips to study effectively? First of all, when you want to study, you gotta have the right attitude before you want to study. It's not about how difficult is it because I can't concentrate. It's not because you can't concentrate. It's because you haven't given it enough importance. You may think you have because you have discussed it with yourself that I gotta pass this course. I gotta get this grade for my GPA. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. But that's not a good enough reason for you internally. The mindset that you should have when you want to study would be trying to reason with yourself, why do I want to do this? Not that why do I have to do this? Why do I want to do this? And then you say, well, I'm 17 years old. It's probably my 11th year or year 12 or year 11. I don't know how your schooling system is there. And what is the role of this course to my life, you ask? And then you say, I don't know, nothing. I probably will never need it in my life. Maybe true. But what is the effect of this course that you may never need in your life would be to your life, to your plans? Then you say, let me think. Maybe then it can help me to get accepted in a university, and without having to study the whole summer if I fail this. But forget about that. It actually could help me to get into university. Then you say, so what does that mean? Still, you have to study. How can I focus on something that I don't like? And you say, you may not like it, but you like what it can lead you to it. Where does it lead me to? Well, it leads to university. You finish the university. When you get into the university, then you can have an opportunity to learn stuff there, which that stuff that you learn is important. Why? Because you probably chose them because you want to use them as a career. You want to follow that after university, go get a job in that field or something that is related to that. Which means this course that doesn't mean anything, you don't even like it, it's important to get you into university, which would be the beginning of your ability training to become capable to put food on your table. Think about it. You're 17, you're eating off of your mom and dad. But at one point, you're supposed to have your own money. Where does that come from? From a job. Where does that come from? From people who are qualified. Where does that come? How can I be qualified? By going to school. Really? So this bloody course that I don't like could actually have a function in my life. So I'm going to learn it really good because it's a vehicle to get me to where I want to go, which is university, through which I can get training and get a job which I can then feed myself, get an apartment, get a place, someday maybe get married or have a girlfriend, have money. And all that means that dinky little shit that I don't like, I don't care if I like it. I think of it as a servant, as something that will serve me. By servant, I mean something that will serve your purpose. And that could be learning how to play soccer, how to play tennis, how to get and understand math or whatever else. It's something that can serve you to get where you want to get. If you think of it that way, then you see the importance of this course. But when you do not see the importance of it, that you don't connect it to what it can do for your life, then you wouldn't even focus on it because you have no reason to. Now you have, because it is a vehicle, it is a ticket to get you to a destination, which is next stop is university. And the next stop is getting a job. Because in university, I'm going to study stuff that I like, not the stuff that I have to. So this will get me to the next level. So it's important to get me to where I want to go, a ticket to grade 12. And then that would lead to university. That would lead to me having a job, being independent, putting food on the table, spend money, have good stuff, whatever it is, lifestyle. So if you do that, that will help you to actually say, I want to learn this thing. Not that I have to, I want to, because I'm going to use it to step up to where I want to go. That's my step ladder. All right. I hope that's helpful to you. Alif from Malaysia. Whisper says, nice, just noticed you on live. I'm working right now at a nightclub. Ooh, okay, how can you hear me then at a nightclub? And I need advice. Ooh, okay. What advice? Male 32, California. No, let me get to Adrian because he has posted a question. Adrian says, I was thinking about what your professor from university said. Dr. Ferris. That at one time our decision was right. Now that I think back, there were signs that showed me something was wrong with the girl. Aha, there we go. Why have I not seen that then? Because you were too focused on the pleasure, which was which was covering what you needed to focus on. Because pleasure has priority over almost everything else. Almost everything else. It's not a matter of health or urgency. Pleasure takes over, gets the priority over everything else. So when you can focus on the pleasure you receive from your girlfriend, you wouldn't even begin to give yourself a chance to see who is the girl from whom you get pleasure. You only focus on the fact that she's pleasure. She's not pleasure. There's a difference between what you get from her and who she really is. You didn't focus on who she is. You focused on what you get from her, how you feel good being with her. The pleasure of it made you simply forget about your duty to figure out that your relationship with her is not with pleasure, is with her. So who is she? You never tried to find out. You were too focused on how she makes you feel by being near her, around her. So in other words, your desire was making decisions for you. You see, we think we are made out of mind and body, and of course, consciousness. But consciousness is in the mind, let's say. So we think we are only mind and body. So as long as I keep fit and be, active and take care of myself, eat good stuff and good nutrition and all that, and exercise, so on, that's my body portion of my entity. And then as long as I can understand my thoughts and figure out how to become one with the energy of the nature and understand my thinking and so on, what we've talked about, thoughts, consciousness, this and that, so forth, then I'm good. And then the two would be coordinated and so on and so forth. So I have mind and body coordinated, and that's me. But in fact, we need to departmentize. I can't come up with the word. Departmentize, I think, our entity, which is, I am made out of a bunch of fragments: desire, fear, ego, and then thoughts and consciousness. The relationship is different. Pleasure, and then who is deciding for me at this particular juncture in life, in this particular matter? Am I deciding as a center, as the boss of all of them altogether? Am I really judging it properly and seeing it properly and making a decision on behalf of everything that makes me to be who I am? Or is it one of the fragments that is bamboozling me and making me react and make decisions, feel emotions and logic or whatever it is that I feel through that one particular fragment? In other words, is it fear that's deciding for me? Or is it desire that makes me want this thing to be in a certain way? Or is it my ego that makes me to be angry? And I don't know, I can handle everything, but why am I angry? Because of many reasons. That is, probably I'll make a video on this particular topic later on, the better quality than just a live talk. But so these are why you missed that. But you may have missed seeing it, but in a center of, but your center didn't miss it, because it made you to make a decision that was correct, but even though you couldn't see the whole thing. You broke up with her, right? Is that what it is? All right. Ah. Oh, yeah, you can hear me because you have captioned whisper. Okay. And Alif says, thank you. I really appreciate those tips. You're quite welcome. You get to a point, Alif, that you'll realize you're not doing it for grade, you're not doing it for mom and dad, you're not doing it for a kudo from the teacher. You're doing it for you because you have plans. And this is one of the steps that you need to use to get on it, to get on the horse. It serves a purpose, even if you don't like that course. All right. Whisper says, as I was getting more bottles from the office, separate building, there was a beautiful girl talking to my coworker, the back doorman. As I passed, she blatantly said, "Pooh, show is that?" What? Pooh? Show is that? Or who is that? I don't get it. And then it says, so my coworker introduced us and she was literally speechless. Okay. I felt like I could pull her into the service closet and make love right here and now. Unless she says okay, and unless she is got all the credentials necessary for that consent, like she's old enough and all that, then you wouldn't want to think that way just because somebody smiled at you. And let's assume that she's definitely old enough, and let's assume that she would consent, and so that's how you felt because that's how she kind of expressed her feelings towards you. That's your impression, but you can't act on your such impressions unless you are dead sure. You're absolutely sure by her actually consenting very clearly. So I just want to add to that. I'm sure that's what you mean. And so he says, she keeps staring at me. Bit, I'm super busy, but I'm super busy, confused. I'm still sprung over my ex. Wow. Forget the ex. Ex is somewhere else with somebody else. What value that relationship should have for you? None. The one who's paying attention to you, at least at this moment, is this girl. So maybe you want to introduce yourself and just get to know her and see if her attention is genuine, or perhaps you guys can have, I don't know, a tea or coffee later on some other day and exchange phones and decide then. You don't have to compare her to anybody. She's unique on herself and she's paying you attention. That's lovely. Be appreciative and enjoy it. Don't have to go any further than that and compare her to your ex. Or now forget the ex. Ex is that ex. There is a reason why there's an they call them ex. They're supposed to be out of the picture. And Whisper says, should I take this girl home or am I just doing this to get over my ex? I ask myself. Whisper, are you in UK? I can't tell you if you should take this girl home. First of all, you should make sure that she also agrees to your intentions and your plan. So maybe you want to discuss it with her. And of course, I can't tell you what you should do because I don't know, how things so quickly can turn like intimate. I would say it would be best if you just guys get to know each other over tea or coffee or some lunch on a daylight, and then decide if you guys like each other or not and then find out about each other's background to see if you guys have, any kind of a concern, health concerns from each other, and satisfy that by, I don't know, getting blood tests or being safe when you want to be intimate. At least talk about it, figure things out. Can't just, like someone and go to bed with them. Gotta get to know them. And it will be that much better if you get to know, you and your girl would get to know each other, and it will be a pleasant experience in sex rather than just, okay, you see somebody, you go, well, it's a mechanical thing in that case. There's no emotions involved. It's just intimacy. According to your program, your genes, it's just sex. If that's what you're after, well, then it's up to you and her. If you're both of legal age and you consent to that, well, have safe sex and, I don't know, enjoy. But if you were looking for something which would be a relationship, then you got to get to know each other. And that would be best for some other day, lunch or tea or outing or something. Hey, yeah, that's my opinion. But and Whisper, you forgot to give me the protocol, the age again, and were you in, because I don't remember. Oh, there it is, Whisper, 32 California. Oh, 32 California. Well, make sure she's of legal age first, then you will be able to speak with her, and then you go from there. Whisper says we close in 45 minutes, and she's clearly waiting for me in a booth up front. Okay, well, get to know her. Maybe you can treat her to some tea or coffee outside. And at least, I don't know how things are there. And Majid says, good morning, Mehran. Good morning, Majid. And Whisper says my auto typing messed it up. She said, ooh, who is that? Okay, good. That's a good compliment. And Whisper says we are at a 21 and over nightclub. We are at a 21 and over. Oh, I see. You're either 21 or over 21, right? Oh, I see. A nightclub that is minimum age is 21. I see. It's a legal age then. And the Whisper says, okay, I didn't want to get graphic, but as I passed by her, she kind of touched my. Okay, all right then. Okay, that's between you and her. And Whisper says no one night stand. Then, well, I don't necessarily suggest that. It's a different time and day. You guys are all with the music and maybe, I don't know, drunk a little bit, maybe not, but the atmosphere makes you think you are all, gonna miss it if you don't. Just get to know each other first. What's wrong with that? I mean, it's not the last time you're gonna have sex with someone. Just get to know each other, maybe go for tea, and then take her to her home and be a gentleman. And then if when you guys are sober or the next day she still is thinking right, then you feel great about yourself. It wasn't like spare the moment. It was just something that you guys actually got to know each other, and then you decided later on to do something, including maybe intimacy. But there's no trophy waiting for someone to say, oh, I went to a disco and I picked up this girl. These are just things that happens or don't happen, but it's not like it's a special credit. Oh, so big deal. What? That doesn't make you a better person, more successful person. Or if you don't say, oh, I'm a loser, I didn't pick up any girl. Well, you went for fun and you got to know a girl. That's great. What else do you want? Get a number and that's it. That's good enough. That's a good day's work. All right. That's it. No more questions. We have only 7 people. Okay, don't forget to click on like, guys, if you like the live talks. Deepak joins us. Says, hello, Mehran. Hello, Deepak. Do you agree your mind can only measure what you can lose, but it can see what you can gain? I see what you're saying. And what this really means? Well, it means that because you have, let's say you've had a relationship and the pleasure of it is been experienced, when the relationship breaks down, you can see what's missing because you had the experience of the feeling the pleasure that was experienced. But when you gain something, you haven't had the experience with what you gained, if we can put it in that scenario. Therefore, you can't measure what it is that you gained because you haven't put it to work yet. You haven't interacted with that opportunity to know what it can do for you, for your life, for your feelings, or whatever it is. You haven't. It's like you have a sandwich that you've never seen, you've never had, but you haven't taken a bite yet. They just gave it to you. To you, it's okay, something to try. But if you were looking to buy a certain sandwich that you always had and you loved, and they say, oh, sorry, we ran out of it, you can measure, oh, they ran out of something that I have tasted and I really liked, and I can see that how it feels not having it, because all that taste and all that experience is in my memory, and I can measure that with what that experience in the memory is, that what I'm losing, what I'm missing, that pleasure of it, that I have experienced it, I know what it is, I can measure it, I can feel the taste of it, that I'm not gonna have it. But the new sandwich that I'm gaining, I've never had it before, so okay, I can't measure it. I can see it's there, thank you, but I can't measure it. That's the only thing I can make out of this sentence that you just told me. Deepak, you're getting me to work at this hour. And unless you give me a specific example, I don't know if I use some examples, you might not be relevant to what your intentions are about on this topic. Majid says, how should I approach a girl in the gym? Remember, guys, this was supposed to be a breakup channel. Now you're turning it into dating channel, and now you want to get all my secrets. Well, just be genuine, when she's doing some weights and training, when she finishes a set, you can pleasantly and politely say, that was a good effort, good job. And she says, oh, thank you. And you can say, oh, my name is whatever, Majid, and I've seen you around and just wanted, and I've seen you around and hope you'll have a good workout. Then you go about your business. That's it. Very short. Nothing to ask. And next time when you see her, you can say hello, and that's it. So you kind of get to know each other in that way, and then eventually there will be some close proximity where you can talk about some maybe things that you have in common as far as your goals in the gym, and that's how relaxing it is, how focused you are, and it's always good to be there because you feel like you're meditating when you're in there. And then obviously she will share with you a little bit of that. Then that's how it starts. So now we are blessed with One Man's Way with $20 of super chat. Certainly appreciate it. And he says, any tips on letting go after 8 years? She was my fiancée. She's ready to move on and I'm not. Life doesn't seem worth it without her connections. one man's way, if you wouldn't mind, kindly give me that protocol that we always hope to receive, so I would kind of have a feeling of who you are, like your age, where you tuning in from, which country, so it can maybe give me a little bit of a background in by these three little things, the gender, I can see that, and you're a heterosexual male, and your age, and where you're tuning in from. It gives me a little bit of a kind of notion of how I can tailor make my response to you. I'd appreciate that. So I wait for that. And one man says, I'm 31, male, USA, Annapolis. Annapolis. You mean Minneapolis? Or there is a place called Annapolis? If it is, I never knew. And, oh, Maryland. MD is Maryland, is it? Annapolis, Maryland? All right. So you're 31 and she's 25. You've been together 8 years and you were 23 and she was 17 when you guys start going out with each other? And who broke up? Tell me a little bit about it. Why? Why did she break up with you? What was going on? What happened? I can tell you what happened. Probably she wakes up one day and she thinks, life is passing me by. I've only known one man, and I would be missed if I am not having more relationships before I get married. Because that is what is pumped to everybody's mind. The more girls you sleep with, and the more guys they sleep with, therefore their life is fuller. Or they're at the age that they don't know better. They just think this is what they should be doing at that age. So one way or another, they do that, and then eventually, there you go. See, that's exactly what happened. So when they feel that way, and they don't want to disappoint the partner or the parents or the arrangement, they end up cheating, which you just said she did. Now, you're in the best position. First of all, you have no damn reason to want to be or marry a girl that you got to know when she was 17 and you were 23. At age 23, you hardly know who you are, let alone know what kind of woman you want. At age 70, she's not even an adult yet, and with the permission of her parents, you guys were boyfriend and girlfriend at the time, but she hardly knew anything. She doesn't know which way is up, which way is down, what life is all about. And naturally, just like anything else, anybody else that she sees in the schools and here and there, they're having this party, they're having that party, they're having this boyfriend or the other one, and this and that, and so forth. And the television programs and movies and all that, everybody's talking about, go out and do this, more boyfriend or more girlfriend, da da da. It's like it's a collection of trophies the more you have. But none of them are actually deep enough, but they just think that there could be something better out there for them, or something that they should experience. And they go through all these physical relationships. Lo and behold, that they cannot establish a relationship through body only. There has to be connection on the mind. But having started it at that early age for both of you, obviously you would get used to it after a few years. And this getting used to each other makes you think that you are actually the right match for each other. Maybe you were the right match at age 23 and she was 17, because at that age you know nothing more than what your body tells you. You know, you get horny and she gets excited, and you guys are heterosexual, male and female, and you are attracted to each other and you follow your programming, your genes. That is how it starts. But at that age, you had no idea who each one of you are. And through the years, you got used to each other. But you also are developing, dynamically developing through getting older from that age. And little by little, you notice that the changes that she's making, the changes you're making in your consciousness, becomes apparent that you guys are not really that great of a match anymore. You were at one time, because the level of what you were looking for was much shallower, much limited, and much, lighter. But as you develop and grow in life, you learn things, and then all those try to shape your consciousness and who you are, your persona, your personality. And then through all these changes, each one of you are changing differently, and then you see life differently. You grow up and you'll have different plans that you did when she was 17 or when you were 23, and those plans may no longer be compatible, because at age 17 she had no plans. The only plans she had maybe was one, and that was something to have seen from her parents, got married, have children, this and that, so forth. And at that age, her brain doesn't allow any other plans other than that, especially that she's in love with this young man. And you at that age, you want to feel manly. Oh, I have a girlfriend, and I'm 23, so I am man, and I will be marrying her, and I will this and that, so forth. But you also don't know shit at that age. But all you know is your instinctive responses and interests. Programs your gene. So this seemed a right match at the time, because there was no criteria for it. It was only hormonal and sexual and naturally attraction between a heterosexual man and a heterosexual woman. So that seemed all good. But while you're growing up, you change. And those changes could be deep, could be wise, could be intelligent, intellectual, or could be just shallow and focus on the fact that, I'm not having any other relationship, so I should have more, because I want to see how it is. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody has different things. I've been with this guy for so long, and then you may also feel like, hey, it's not bad if I can, have other relationships, because that's the extent of getting to know each other, and there isn't much here anymore, because now I'm older. I expect different things from a woman, and she may say, I didn't have any other boyfriend. Now I just wanted, pull around and so on, and she's impressed by all kind of things because she hasn't made anything out of herself, maybe, and that's what happens. And then you find her cheating with another guy. So even if she hadn't cheated with another guy, you had no business to expect this to end up with a marriage at all. It shouldn't have. You should have definitely broken up, even if she hadn't cheated, because at that age you hardly knew yourselves, let alone know what you're looking for in a partner. But now you do. You have some experience, and you're 31. You're very young. Good thing that you broke up, because obviously that wasn't the right girl for the reasons that I mentioned, and for the fact that she cheated. There's no business. She has no business. You have no business wanting her back at all, ever. And I wonder, how is it that you're even questioning that you're not letting go? Why not? What's there for you to want? Just the fact that she went with somebody else and then makes you think, oh, then somebody else wanted her. Then because somebody else other than me wanted her, then she's valuable. No. No woman who cheats has got the same chance to create a solid bond with her boyfriend anymore. Hardly ever. There is no justification for it. And you want to say, no, you'll be okay with that. No, you won't be okay with that. You will never be okay with that, and you shouldn't be okay with that. If you are in a serious relationship and the woman leaves that relationship, goes to bed with another guy, that's the end of it. You should never take her back. Ever. It will not be healthy, and it will not be as it should be. And that action should tell you that was not a right match, or if it was at one time, no longer is. And you should, for that very reason, disqualify her regardless of what you think about her, what you feel about her. Your feelings should be about your thoughts, and and it comes from your thoughts, and your thoughts should be logically qualifying her. And you're not qualifying here. You're only focused on memories. I just made a video today which I will upload. It's already uploaded on the live talks, but I had a good camera that was also capturing my live talk, and I'm going to cut that and make that video for everybody. It's about 20 some odd minutes. It's very interesting for you to realize why you want her. I'm not going to go into it now because it's another 20 minutes of talk. But you need to watch that. And I think the title will be Why We Think of the Past. Let me see what title I put on it. At least you will look for that. If you click on the bell, and whenever I upload something new, you will be getting it. I think it will be called Why We Think of the Past Memories, Why We Still Want the Ex. Why we think of the past memories, why I still want the ex. Or just maybe I'll just put it as why we think of the past memories. That will enlighten you a little bit. I think that's one of the brilliant, I'm not blowing my own horn now, videos, but I think it's something that you guys can really understand and enjoy. So watch for that. I will upload that soon. So what I'm trying to say to you is that you should understand that why you want her is not because she's qualified. It's because she's been part of your experiences from that age to now, and you feel as if she is the main actor for the theater that you have created in this life, which is your journey. But instead, you should think that this role is not suitable for her anymore because she has breached the scenario that you had written. And for that reason, you ask her to leave and you hire another actor. Actress, of course, but they're all actors. Which means you disqualify her, not that, oh, she went with somebody else, I'm hurt. No, you're not hurt. You actually got to know who she really has developed into. If she wasn't that, the problem is you don't see her for who she has become. You still look at her and think, oh, that's that innocent 17-year-old that I used to date with her parents' permission. She's no longer that. She's not that, and she doesn't want to be that, and she's doing whatever she can, so she won't be even near what she used to be. But yet, you look at her and you say, oh, that girl cheated on me, I'm hurt. No, that girl didn't cheat on you. That girl was 17, and then you guys were together for a while, and then the one who cheated you is not the girl that you were with a long time ago. But the one that cheated you is no longer is qualified that you should continue a relationship with. You have to understand, you have to be focused on what you are looking at, what you're having a relationship with. You are looking at her, but you do not see her actuality as she is today, as who she has become today. You're looking at her just because she has a resemblance or she looks like what she did a few years ago, and you do not see her as she is today. You see her, when you have eye contact with her, you perceive her as she used to be and how you guys used to be. That's not the same girl. That girl will never change. That girl is in your memory. That's finished. But this girl is not a girl that is qualified because of she's changed into something that no longer is Good. I have a video that is called "Why Do You Still Want Her If She Has Changed?" Your ex. Look for that video. Why do you still want her if she has changed? And you have to understand that you got to see her for who she is. And you don't. That's your problem. That's why you can't move on. You got to see her for who she has become, who she has developed into, and what she has done. And that is a deal breaker. Simple. Have respect for yourself. At 31 years old, you're just getting on your way to be at the top of your game, which is when you're really 40 some odd years old. But at 31, you've got no business to marrying the girl that you were dating when she was 17 and you were 23. You know nothing, and what you're reacting is you're used to it. Your order is changed. You created a certain mechanical processes, certain things that you guys were doing involved in each other's life, and that created a routine. It created an order. Now that you guys are not together, that order is broken, and you're missing that order, that which you've been conditioned to think that is your routine. That's what you're missing. And you think you're missing her. No, you're not missing her. How can you be missing her? She cheated on you, and she was too young, and now you guys were together at that young age. Both of you were too young, and now you've developed and evolved into something else. And if you look at it, you're no match anymore. Even then you weren't, but you were just young. But when you really see it, you've grown apart, and you should have. Naturally, you should have. Conflicts and division is part of humanity. We are all different, and definitely when you guys were together at that young age, and then you evolve through your experiences in life and get older, and obviously become something else, and you should not even match any longer. And what you think it's a match, no, it's just you got used to it, and you got used to the routine, and now you're missing the routine, the order, and you think, oh, I'm devastated, hell broke loose. No, nothing. You're just lucky that you see this is what actually was going to be, and you lucked out to get to know this now, because she would have done worse things when you guys were married, if you would have ever got married, because then she would say, oh, I missed the whole life, I got to experience now, and she would be here and there doing, and the experience and missing the whole thing is always in the terms of sex, like I have to date more in order to get full weight of life. Nonsense. But that's how the days go by today. This is how the trend is in this day and age. All right. One Man's Way. Again, thank you very much for another super chat. Another $10, and thank you very much. It helps out the channel. And let's see what else we have here. So looks like we have now. Once I upload that video, I hope everybody will pick it up and really try to zoom on it and learn it. Now, Whisper says, One Man's Way. Oh, you're talking to One Man's Way. Whisper sends a message to One Man's Way, says, wish I wasn't so busy, but I went through exactly what you are going through now. All I can say is, I promise you, you will be fine, my friend. Very good. Good message. Deepak says, Mehran, elaborate it. When you really want something, you're not ready for it. Elaborate on this sentence. When you really want something, you're not ready for it. Not necessarily. Sometimes you're ready for it. But depends on what is your motivation of wanting something. Maybe you want a race car because you just think it's cool, but it's useless for what you want to use it for. So it's not necessarily meaningful for you to have it. So it's not necessarily that you're not ready for it. You have no use for it, and it's irrelevant to your life. So You might be ready for some things, but you might be a wrong choice to pursue. I need to have a certain context for me to be able to elaborate on that. Deepak says money. Oh, you're always ready for having more money. There's no doubt about that. When you really want something, money, you're not ready for it. I don't understand. You mean you're not ready for it? Who decides that you're not ready for it? Who said that? Or are you saying that you can't get it? Is that what you mean by you're not ready for it? But if you're a responsible person, you're always ready for doing your best and making money. I don't understand what exactly you mean that way. Mm-hmm. Well, it was a strange, little bit strange day today. I just had to go and see something for a client, and got into my car and went for about half an hour and came back. And then noticed that the lights for the tires are on and telling me that one of the tires is low in air. I couldn't understand why. So I decided that eventually, a couple hours later, I went to my home, and a couple hours later, I decided to go to the gym. So sure enough, still the light came on, and I did notice a big nail having gone into it. So I drove to the gas station and put more air in it, hoping that the light will go off at least until tomorrow I get it to the shop to get it fixed. But no, because these tires have a sensor, and they will know that there's air going out, regardless of how much extra air you put into it. So after workout, I again went to the gas station, put some air into it just to make sure it won't become too flat. And so there was no place I could take it to be fixed at this hour. It was like 11 o'clock or 10:30. 11 o'clock at least, yeah. So I'm wondering tomorrow, would I have to call a tow truck? I have the facilities to plug it in back of my car, but I don't think I have the proper jack, even though I'm sure there is one in there. But then take the tire off and fix it, and then put the tire back with all manual wrench. I think it's best if I just be able to get it to a store and have it done. Or if not, then if it's too flat, then gotta get a tow truck. So that's gonna be a little challenge. And I definitely need that car to be ready for Sunday, because I have to go with other clients and so on. So it was interesting thoughts. And one Manway says, in our relationship, I did everything in my life for her, so I'm having a tough time figuring out how to live for myself. Yes, but you're having a tough time now. That will all pass. You will meet a woman that will knock your head off, because you're at the age that you know what you want, and you expect certain behaviors, certain morals, certain manners, and you will meet someone mature enough, educated, with some career, and you will fall head over heel interested to get to know her, to fall in love, because you can't fall in love right away. It's lust. So don't worry about the future. They will all be okay. In the meantime, focus on the fact that you really were acting as if you're babysitting or her parents. Because at the age 23, you were really mature in your mind compared to her, and she would see you as, oh, the man of my life because she was just 17 and I'm going out with a 23-year-old, and that was a really mature man in her mind. But then when she became older, and then the differences became a little bit less in age as far as maturity is concerned, she wasn't seeing your kind heart and your qualifications and your specialities and how wonderful you've been to her. She only saw that now I should try some other things because this I have tried. Why? Because she was never mature for a relationship. So you never appreciated all the things that you did for her. She was like a child, like the parents are doing things for her, and she didn't really care. And she didn't really care that much about you doing all those things for her either. And you became a little bit of a caretaker. That was no healthy relationship. It was just a child that was given permission by her parents to be your girlfriend, and you were in all wonderful. What for? The duration of that relationship ended, and enjoy it for what it was, but do not turn that temporary learning experience that the universe, nature gave you into wanting it to be permanent. Why should it be permanent? Don't you expect anything better? Don't you expect anything more from a girl who really, you just chose her because that was the age that you could choose only that? Didn't expect much. But then she grew and you grew. You know what other things are out there. You know how many wonderful, amazing women are out there. They can be a wife. They can be a woman of your life. Not a child that is looking around to go and to bed here and there to figure out things for it. You don't have that time. You should choose better, select better. And plus the fact she's done what she's done. Are you nuts? Have more respect for yourself. You'll be perfectly fine. Look for a lady, look for a woman. Not for some weak personality that you can dominate, or you can feel just like you felt when you were 23 and she was 17. It's no longer that relationship. If that attracted you at that time, made you manly, and you still want it to be the same, it won't be, and it shouldn't be. You are a grown-up man, and you should look for an intelligent, strong woman to be a partner with you for life that has all kind of shit is going to thrown at you. You don't want a child around, someone who's not disciplined enough to understand what relationship is, what loyalty is, what faithfulness is in a serious, solid relationship. And it goes and does all these things. It's just child's behavior, high school behavior, college behavior. You have no time for that. You should actually disqualify her 100%. Expect more and appreciate. Do not disrespect other women out there who are amazingly qualified, and instead you're just running around after this one, after what she's done, and the fact that she's never been anything other than that your age called for it, and that's perfectly fine. Enjoy the experience, but its time has run out, and it's time for you to move to higher level of expectations. And then you will see. Just let her go, because what you're hanging on to is not her, because you're already pissed off about her and you know everything I said is correct. Look into your heart and you will know what I'm saying. But the fact that you don't want to let her go because you don't want to let her go with the memories and the efforts and exchange and interchange and exchange of energy and the efforts that you've made, the routine, the order that you're used to, you don't want to let that go. But you should, because none of that exists anyhow. It's all old story. And what are you holding on to? To memory? Memory is not reality. Your thought is trying to tell you, no, memory is everything. Hold the memory. Why? Why should you hold the memory? The memory is nothing. It doesn't exist. The reality of it, of the thing, is it's not qualified. So you want to keep the unqualified reality, but having the memory, qualified memory, attached to it. That's so lame. It's like having a car and 3 good tires, and 1 tire is just from some tire that is another car that doesn't fit this one. But, let's put it this way, because I've got 3 good tires and that one will pull. No, it has to be the right fit. This is not a right fit. You look at who she is today, the actuality of hers is not qualified. But you want to bring the memory, which has the qualified stuff in, and slap it on this that is not qualified and try to make a living out of it. It won't happen. It won't work, and it would be crazy if you do that. So see her for who she is and keep your memory intact. Enjoy the memory. That is a different story. And love that memory. But then understand that you want something far more and better with the way things have developed. And for that, don't let the memory and the actuality interfere with each other. Keep the memory and let go the actuality. Keep the memory and move on from the actuality. Keep the memory and grow and expect more from what it is in front of you, which is a disqualification of what you think you should hang on to. There's nothing to hang on to this. Hang on to the memory, and the memory is fine. Once in a while, think about it, have a tea, and enjoy it. But that's it. Appreciate it, but say, okay, that was a training I had from the nature, and that was an experience, and it was a pleasant experience. Now it's time for me to actually find the mysteries that amazing, wonderful, other beautiful women can offer me, and I can share my life, or at least few years of it, with them until see how that goes. All right, hope that would be helpful to you. One man's way. Whisper says, Mehran, I asked a girl to join me in the shot out of my personal bottle. Join me in a shot out of my personal bottle from the service closet. And she wanted to, and she wanted to, what? Okay. I told her I can't because I'm on the clock, but all off now. I don't know if she qualifies, but I like her. Okay. However, I'm already thinking negative about her since she is so willing and I barely met her. Well, you can have tea with her, but then figure out. You're not qualifying her as a wife, as a friend, a possible girlfriend, whatever. Don't necessarily promise yourself anything, and don't easily qualify them for long term. See how it goes, how your friendship goes, how you guys bond. If there is something there or not, well, the attraction at the beginning is an invitation to get to know each other. And so that invitation is already there. You're attracted to her, she's attracted to you, so you can see. And that doesn't mean what she's offered you, she offers everybody. But it is a legitimate concern that you have. And you must keep that concern seriously. That, if she's offering that like that, well, it's a questionable behavior. So get to know her, I guess. And he says that there will be no tea, Mehran. Okay. And Deepak says, nice mic, Mehran. Yes, thank you. Yeah. The courtesy of my son. All right, guys, it looks like we've hit 1 hour and 5 minutes, and it looks like we've hit all the questions. Oh, Mama, your Mama 18 is here. Says, after my divorce, I feel want to be alone forever. Is that bad? It's not bad. It's just not realistic. And it is normal for you to think that way. This is very healthy and very normal, natural way of reacting. But it's just a reaction. Don't take it seriously. Don't make it turn into a promise or a temper tantrum, result of a temper tantrum and dissatisfaction of how it was. Therefore, I want to be alone all my life. Are you nuts? Tell him that. He's not going to stand for it. It will revolt against you. So be cool and entertain the thought and says, yeah, okay, that's the way I complain. I want to be alone all my life. Okay, fine. But don't take it seriously and let the time pass, and then you will, you even if you wanted, with the amount of number of beautiful women out there and qualified women out there, you won't even be able to entertain that for too long, because they will blow your head off with amazing women that are out there today. and and so we have Whisper says, love you, sir. Love you guys. Hope to see you all soon. Okay. Have a wonderful evening and exercise safe sex if it gets there. All right. Sam Buslau says, hello. Hello, Sam. It's the first time you're here, I guess. Remember, we have a protocol, gender, age, and where you're tuning in from. That will help us out to have a little bit of an info about you. Turn this air conditioning fan on. So it looks like no one on Facebook joined us tonight. I guess Facebook is sleeping. And One Man Way says, good night. Thank you, sir. You're quite welcome, One Man Way. Thanking you for being here and participating in our live talk. And I hope what we discussed was helpful to you. And thank you for your super chat. Appreciate it. Deepak says, what this single change one can make in habit to stay healthy? I'm sorry, I cannot understand what that sentence means. What's the single change one can make in habit to stay? Oh, it looks more like a puzzle, Deepak. And Sam Boslao says, I'm male, 19, and I'm from Wyoming. Oh, Wyoming. You know, I passed through Wyoming. Did I? I think I did. I was driving from Portland to Chicago. Cheyenne, was it? No. I did pass through Wyoming. That reminds me of a friend I had from Wyoming. She was rather interesting at that age. She came from a different part of the world. And I think, there's lots of farming in Wyoming, I guess. So it was interesting exchange. I was very young then. I was in college. But the name Wyoming reminded me that where she was from. So Brett says, thanks for the help. You're quite welcome, Brett. What did I do? You just joined us, right? Okay. Yeah, we drove from Portland to Chicago. And there were 3 of us in the car, my friend and I, and our third friend wasn't 21, so he couldn't drive, so we were doing all the driving. And I think he was 19, therefore he couldn't drive. I think that was what it was. Anyhow, we drove non-stop. So one would drive, the others would sleep, and then I would drive, and my friend would sleep with the third one. So we made it in 48 hours, I think. Long drive. All right, guys, looks like we don't have any more question here. So if you don't mind, it's 1:39 a.m. here, and we have answered all the questions, and it's time for me to say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here. give me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. And I look forward to talk to you tomorrow, and tomorrow morning, or rather noon Vancouver time. If I don't have to, if I check the car and I see it's getting really flat or it's already gone, then maybe I'll just might as well come back and do the live talk, and then after that take care of it. Or if I see it's not 100% gone, I can still drive it, then I will just take it to the shop and have it done, and maybe we'll have a live talk a little later on, or not at all until Sunday. So that's how it's gonna go. Hopefully we'll have a chance to have a live talk tomorrow as well. In the meantime, be good to yourself, to the others, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.